Welcome to a new video, guys. Today's topic is how to stay alive in Hell Let Loose. It was requested by one of the commenters, but I do think a lot of other people might also benefit from this information, as you might have downloaded the game on the PSN store, because it was free for PS Plus. And you might have noticed it's not as easy as walking around and shooting people in the face, because you will get killed from nowhere and you have no idea what's going on. So this video is for you, and I will explain some tips how to actually get kills in this game. So before I get into this topic, quick introduction. My channel is GoudaGamer. I make content about Hell Let Loose, so about tips, tricks, about gameplay, about news, my thoughts on the game. If you're into that, please consider subscribing. Anyway, let's get into it. The first thing I want to emphasize is, this game is not about KD like other shooters. Dying is truly a part of this game. There's lots of tactics to die less, and I will get into these in this video, but you do really have to sometimes beat your way into an objective and lose a lot of people. There's no way around it. There are times you will get spawn killed into oblivion and you cannot do anything about it. And this game is about working as a team and getting the win over a 1.5 hour, 2 hour game. And dying is just part of it. The time to kill is very low, you get killed in one shot, the maps are huge, the enemies are pixels in the distance, and it's just part of the game. And you have to deal with it if you really want to enjoy this game. So my first true tip is that hiding and positioning is key in this game. As I mentioned in my other video about how to find enemies, you don't just run around and look for enemies. Because they are hiding somewhere in the middle of nowhere and they see your pixel moving on the horizon and kill you in one shot. And it's not that fun, So what you want to do is finding good positions and use stealth to hide and see the enemy before he sees you. Because often it's about who sees who first, and because it's one shot kill, the battle is decided. And this means using the foliage, shadows and buildings to get into sneaky positions. But how do you know which are the right positions to get into? One, it's because of experience, and secondly, by using the map, because the map gives you a lot of information about where the enemy positions are. You can look at the markers that the squad leaders are placing and get a general sense of what's happening, and based on this information you can get into spots where you can kill the enemy from easily, So you have to think about how you play. You can't just walk around trying to find enemies. It will really make you very frustrated. So if you pay attention to your positioning and where you are, and don't move too much, because even a small movement gives away your location, because your character model will actually move quite a lot, you will notice you will get killed less. And this kind of playstyle you will really need to get used to, but it will become second nature really soon. The only dangerous thing is that you will maybe start to play too passively, because killing enemies doesn't solve too much. What you really need to do is get rid of enemy outposts and garrisons, their spawn points. And this is also true when defending, so you can't just sit still in a building and keep killing enemies. You need to push them and get rid of their spawn points to really make a difference. So to hide, do position yourself well, but don't play too passively and try to get rid of their spawn points. Another good tip is to flank the enemy. And you need to discuss this with your squad, as your squad leader needs to bring outposts so you can actually spawn, or else you walk like 10 minutes and you die and you alt F4 out of the game out of straight frustration. So that is not what I'm recommending, but a flank is actually one of the best things you can do. So this is not conquest mode in Battlefield, so you don't run straight to the objective. I know most people are doing that. But if you see a big front line and everyone is getting into the meat grinder and getting killed and frustrated, this is a good time to set up a flank. And flanks can be big. They can be, because you know how large the maps are, right? You can just walk around for like 10 minutes and set up a flank somewhere behind the enemy or next to the enemy, and this will make a major difference. It's dangerous to do this all the time, because if your force gets thinned out all the way and there's no people in the middle anymore, then it becomes very dangerous. However, if you pull off a good flank, you can definitely surprise the enemy and get lots of kills. And it also changes the game in a profound way, because first you were maybe getting shot over and over from across a field and you can't see the enemy, but if you do flank around and you enter a little town with your squad and there happens to be another enemy squad and you get into this little fight, it really gives you the best Band of Brothers moments. And also you might find a tank in a small street and take it out with your squad without getting killed and killed over again from nowhere. It really changes the game up a lot. And it's one of the things I enjoy most of the game. Another tip that I should give is that you need to pick your spawn points carefully. If your team is somewhat decent, there should be different spawn points to choose from, be it your outposts or garrisons. My internal nemesis, the artillery of the enemy, can really ruin your day. If it keeps blasting the objective, consider spawning somewhere else, for example. And especially squad leaders should do this and make sure their squad or team can spawn safely somewhere else. So this means walking from the HQ spawn for a pretty long distance to a remote area and getting up a backup carry there. Because patience is really key in this game, and sometimes you want to invest some time in setting up good positioning of both yourself as well as your spawn points. So this will pay you back in the long run. Anyway, these were a few tips I think might help you to better understand the game and maybe die a little less. And I might make a follow-up video about this in the future. But thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate the support. I read all the comments and it's really fun to read. So if you enjoy this content, consider subscribing. I'll make more videos and see you in the next one, guys.